Hey everybody, it's Aaron here with Robert, and welcome to Get Your Geek On's review of Ms. Marvel, the Disney Plus newest show. Second newest show? I
Episode
don't
two.
know.
Episode two.
Episode 2.
That's what I was going for. Yeah, we're here. We're gonna do some spoilers as we talk through this episode and this series. And so if you haven't watched the episode yet, make sure and go watch it, and then come back and join the conversation. So Aaron, 2 episodes in, how'd you like this second episode?
Actually, I'm still really liking the series. I'm liking that, we already kind of got like, okay, this is how she got her powers from this amulet, and now she's trying to learn them. And again, a kid trying to learn their powers on their own. Yeah, she has the help from the best friend, but really, I
Bruno.
like that we don't have anyone here guiding her. We don't have like Spider-Man, who has Iron Man, who's had, in a certain extent, Mysterio. We don't have these people trying to help get them going, or even Hawkeye trying to help her.
Right.
I like that it's just, hey, I'm gonna figure out my powers on their own. I do feel it's that coming of age kind of storyline still, and I'm not minding that. I'm actually enjoying it because the
hmm
way they're actually portraying and pushing it is an interesting manner to me. I do like the female friend. I can't Anim, I believe is how you say her name. The one who's running for the position in the it's not a church,
Yeah,
but what it's
let
called.
me a mosque.
A mosque, thank you.
Um, yeah, let me pull up her name because I'm trying to remember it as well.
Oh, why are you
Because yeah,
doing
she
that?
she got a lot more in this episode, and I liked it as well.
Yeah, and I like that we're getting, I see all the people who get upset. Oh, they're all pushing feminism, woman power, whatever. But it's true. Like, there's still some of these old ways out there that kind of, in my opinion, need to go out with the prehistoric ages, I guess I'll say.
Yeah,
And it's like,
it's Nakia
Nakia, there you go.
is the name of the character, played by Yasmin Fletcher. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm enjoying that character actually. And I liked how the scene where she was basically manipulating the father, like, you say, we could
it
do
was
everything.
was so good.
It was
I
beautiful.
was laughing so hard as she was just like, "You wouldn't crush your daughter and my dreams, would you?" Like
Who's
this,
like another daughter to you?
yeah, like she's just master manipulator, and you can see he's like, I have no comeback for this. Like, there's nothing I can say
She
because
took out every
she
leg.
set it up in such a perfect way that it's just like there's no, like he has nothing else to say, and it was, and especially like I thought it paralleled well with earlier in the episode when they're all around the dinner table and he's talking about why they came to America so their kids can
Yes.
do anything, and I love the mom being like, well, almost
Almost.
anything. Like,
Yeah. The
there's a
mom
couple.
is the one that's a little more
Yeah,
hesitant than the dad, it seems
sure.
like.
Yeah, I mean, like, but I liked that he does view this as the land of opportunity, if you will. Like it,
Yes.
I'm sure he still wants them to be grounded in their culture, their heritage, their
Mm-hmm.
faith, all of those things. But within that, okay, go out and do what you want to do. Go succeed. Go, be those things. So yeah, to have that kind of turned on him
It was
was
hilarious.
I really enjoyed that.
I think that was probably my one of my favorite scenes in this episode was that alone, because I was like, that's perfect. It's a perfect representation of like with the change coming, that tidal wave coming. And yes, feminism, movement, whatever the heck you want to call it, I don't care because it worked. Because I don't care if it was a girl there, a boy there, or whatever. It's like we need change, and
Mhm.
that's what this is about. Is
Yeah.
they want to try to change the way this is being run, and perfect. I was like, this is amazing. I'm loving it. But overall, I'm still really enjoying it. And like I said in the last episode, you have to go in there as a 16-year-old mindset, because that's definitely what they're leaning into with the whole, like, after she meets the new dude and she's just kind of
Yeah,
like
Kamran.
oogling and ogling over him. It's like
Mhm.
that's what little girls did. And to an extent, when young men were there, it's like we do that with the beautiful women. And it's like, oh, she's talking to me. Oh, how's it going? Like, I don't know. I think it's doing amazing. What about you, though?
Yeah, I have to agree. I really enjoyed the second episode. I thought it built very well on the first episode. We're getting a little bit more, a little bit deeper with these characters. This one, really dove a lot into the culture, into Islam, and the uh, like celebration festival that they were
Yes.
having, Eid. Um, And like we got those scenes in the mosque and those types of things. And I thought it was just, it didn't feel like, oh, we're doing this just because, like we're trying to push some agenda or anything. It was like, no, this is just, this is who this character is, and we're
Yes,
seeing her in her natural environment and doing those things. And I just, I'm really liking the setup and the different characters and what they've shown us. And um, I think it's all been played really well. I think, obviously setting up that, Bruno clearly has a crush on Kamala, or I think it's Kamala.
Kamala, yeah, Kamala
I,
Khan.
yeah. And like she seems to have no idea that he has a crush on her.
No,
I don't think like she's being malicious or mean about it. She just is completely oblivious to the fact that he has developed these romantic feelings for her,
exactly.
because they've always just been friends. And so having Kamran come in as like kind of the new rival, you can see that it's starting to drive a little bit of a wedge between those two. I will say, and I know this is like part from the comics, because I was kind of after the episode came up, I was reading up on it a little bit. I'm just a little bit disappointed that Kamran isn't just like a genuine, like that there
Oh
was like
yeah.
an agenda to it, because I was feeling like very refreshed, like okay, this is just two young kids that like hit it off right away, and
Hmm.
are able to immediately kind of establish all these different connections. We've got these
Right.
similar interests and all that stuff. And I was like, I'm liking that it's just that they're that they're attracted to one another, and they're kind of hitting it off. And so I was a little bit disappointed at the end when it turned out that clearly there's another agenda there. Not to say that
Right.
they might, he might not still be attracted to her, and want to pursue a relationship, but it just, there's more to it than just that. And so I was a little bit disappointed by that, but obviously that's kind of the story that they're looking to
It's
tell. So
yeah. I mean, I saw when he came out of the pool, I told Elena, I was like, that's the villain. That's he's gonna have something. He's not just the like normal guy. He's like a villain or something. And then when you get that scene, his car driving up, I was like, knew it. I was like, yeah, he's somehow a villain, or he's somehow tied to everything.
yeah,
But at the
it,
same
it
time,
appears I like. So do you think that woman is her great grandma? Like, it just has some sort of like some sort of life extending powers or
kiddo
something?
kiddo thinks it is. My kiddo was like, I think that's her, because that's the girl we see in the portal when those portals are opening up. And I was like, I don't know yet. I'm because I don't. I mean, we
Well,
also have scrolls everywhere right now.
and even just the way he said, like, my mom's, like when they were talking about the Bollywood stars and stuff, like, did you catch the Inhumans reference? When they were talking about Kingo
Oh, oh,
was,
I missed that
it
one.
was the star from. And so like the fact that he said like, well, she's still loves Kingo Senior, and I think that's like,
The
okay,
internals
so
reference. So
well, and that's like 2 or 3 generations ago. And so the fact that she's into that actor sort of implies that maybe she's been around that long.
mhm.
Again, it's
Or
not
she
for
knows he's an
sure.
internal.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of possibilities with this, and obviously it seems like she used her powers to help Kamala's grandmother get
Right.
reunited with her father. But there's a lot of other mysteries about what those powers might be from the great grandma. So if this is her, is she a villain?
I'm
Is she,
I mean, that's
you
when it
know,
comes to the whole power corrupts. So it's like
right?
maybe she was a good guy and now it's like the powers corrupted her. But then you also can't blame her because you also have what is it, the DODC, right?
The
The
Department
people,
of Damage Control. Yep.
yeah, it's like they're not doing this in a nice way where it's like, hey, maybe like coming in and talk to you like, hey, we know you have these powers, we want to see, let's be civil because you're a kid. No, it's like guns blazing, let's send in those Tony Stark drones to capture her. It's like, oh, they went like
Yeah.
hardcore at her.
And
So
I liked the scene where they were like interrogating Zoe, and he kind of used the same technique with Ned in
yes, I
Spider-Man
was
No Way
laughing
Home. It's
so
like,
loud.
like, oh, let me like, be friendly and build this connection with you, and then just immediately turn it and, be like, and I mean, like you could even see that like he was getting uncomfortable with the other agent that came in and just was like immediately going to like racial stuff,
Oh
which
yeah,
was
she went
I
straight
was
into
like,
that.
oh, like that that took a turn that I was not ready for. Um, but yeah, I
Well,
mean,
see,
I think that on the surface, like the whole episode was just more of the same that we'd gotten. It's building really nice. I'm very curious about where it's headed, and obviously, at what point will you know other people discover her identity, specifically her family.
yeah,
Obviously Bruno knows who she is. Now Kamran knows who she is. Nakia, we don't know when she might find out or if she'll find out, and as well as, like her family. And so I'm
right,
looking forward to, her kind of still having to deal with those things. And then, yeah, ultimately finding out what is going to be the story with this woman, and possibly if the Department of Damage Control, it looks like they're going to play a pretty big role in
right.
this. So yeah, I'm interested.
And here's what I'm wondering, because we have the DODC right now, and they're kind of right at this thing, almost being portrayed as the villain, let's say, because we don't know what their true objective is yet.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, and I wanted to ask you, and I don't, I haven't read anything, speculations or anything yet. Do you think the female actress could be a possible tie to Silver Sable, maybe? Because she does go like headhunting eventually and starts trying to take people in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying not to get too caught up in speculation. I just
Yeah.
kind of want to watch the show and enjoy it. So I'm trying not to read too many like, oh, what could be coming next, because especially because I have such an unfamiliarity with the character. I kind of
Yeah.
want to just I don't want to read a bunch of like, oh, this is what happened in the comics, so this might be what happens in the show, and it's like,
Right.
nah, I just want to like, let me just experience it. So I
You're more
haven't I
chilled.
haven't really done any digging. Well, I'm enjoying it so much. I don't want to like set expectations for myself and then have
Yeah.
those not met or something like
Thanks,
that. So
WandaVision, for breaking Robert. I'm gonna say it.
it's not wrong.
They broke you, man. Yeah,
Well,
that's because
WandaVision and then several Star Wars projects. They've all combined. They've done, like the Voltron. They've come together and they've destroyed my any sense of expectations that I can have now.
Yeah, I feel you on that now. I don't know. It was just one of those, because it like came to mind. I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna build her up that way. Because like you said, the other agent, what's his name? Kari, I forgot his name.
I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, he, like you said, he was real like chilled. He knows what he's doing. Obviously, let's face it, he's really good at manipulating and switching the room and even reading a room.
He's really good at manipulating teenagers. Okay,
also, yeah. Oh, well,
I mean, I'm just saying, like.
True, but we didn't get to see. I mean, we saw how he told May he also knows how to read a room. You need to be quiet and lawyer up, is what he told her. He could have tried to get information and let her keep running her mouth.
Sure.
But he was nice and said, "Shut up."
Go call Matt Murdock. I think he knew he was overmatched versus May and MJ. That they were not going to break. So yeah, he easily identified the weak link was Ned. Like Ned. which is pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I mean, I think in addition to that, in this show, they bring in Zoe, and yeah, I mean, like, you're gonna, okay, here, let me establish this baseline,
right.
Get you kind of to trust me. But then, I mean, when he turns it on and flips it on his head, he's not trying to be like, I can help you out of this situation. He's like full on like, listen, you're going to tell me what I want to know because you're going to be in trouble. Like,
right.
And so he's not really doing like good cop. He's doing like fake good cop, but I'm a bad cop. So,
yeah.
It's interesting, but he does a good job of at least disarming them initially, for sure.
Right. I mean, so I'm curious on where they're going to go. I'm enjoying, like I said, I'm enjoying this all around. I'm liking that we're getting to see more of her powers. I like that she's already kind of created the stairs. We got a little bit more of the hand stretching. And
Yeah.
it almost looks like it has a limit. And I'm kind of wondering if they are going to do that because she did miss the kid when she tried to throw the hand to catch him. So I'm wondering if they're going to kind of limit how far she can go. So that way, when we see somebody like Mr. Fantastic who can go long distances, that way it's not so mimicky of the two powers.
Yeah, I think we'll see. We'll have to understand, like obviously there's going to be some kind of limit to her powers. And so at what point is it that she's still learning them versus this is
Right.
just the limit of them? So
A
yeah,
good
I think
point.
I think we'll have to, understand what that is. Like, and I did, I liked that she kind of, had her hero moment that, like, hey, I did it. And then, whatever happened with like that bangle that is still just kind of disrupting, she doesn't have it completely under control.
Right.
And then he started falling again. It was like, oh crap. Like,
My
I got,
thing too is like the kid could have moved faster on his own. He put his hand out to grab her. She's like, it's like she made a step for you. Could have just doot, doot, and then been all right, whatever, kid. You're an
yeah,
idiot.
I mean, he's not the brightest bulb.
No,
Right.
we saw him almost fall out the window taking a selfie, for God's sakes.
Yeah, but I did like
Dumb.
I did like as she was like going to get him, and she's like, "Think happy thoughts," and he's like, "Ice cream pizza," and you're like,
Oh,
"What?"
I like that we showed the memes of what in her mind, I guess, of like what's gonna happen, and we see ice cream on pizza, and they're like the brain freeze and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, not wrong. Those are gonna be that's what people are gonna remember is the ice cream pizza.
Yeah,
So,
it's fun.
but yeah, I enjoy it. I definitely go recommend watching it still. Again,
Yeah.
go with the mindset of a younger, back in as your teenage years if you're older. Or, again, my kiddo enjoys it right off the bat. She didn't have to do anything because it's hitting its audience. It's not supposed to hit older people unless you can start relaxing, just say, hey, it's a show, whatever, just enjoy it. So I think on that note, we'll go ahead and end it here because it was a fun episode. We'll get more to see who becomes the villains and maybe more. But don't forget to check out all of our stuff at official GYGO on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, all on that same handle. And I'm Aaron. That's Robert that way. And this is Get Your Geek on, and well, stay geeky, guys.
Bye.